He was just a boy from New Orleans, born into pain, raised inside silence. Tyler Perry didn't grow up with bedtime stories. He grew up with bruises, beatings, and fear. His father was abusive, a man whose fists spoke louder than his words. As a child, Tyler would hide under the floorboards or behind furniture, praying for the yelling to stop. That kind of fear doesn't go away. It lives in your bones, follows you like a shadow. But even in that darkness, Tyler found something rare: imagination. He escaped in his mind, creating characters, voices, and stories that were nothing like the world he lived in. And even though no one noticed, he kept writing. He didn't finish high school like most kids. He got his GED and started working odd jobs. But something inside him, something deeper than ambition, told him he was meant for more. At 22, he saw an episode of Oprah where she talked about writing as a form of healing. That's all it took. That one moment planted the seed. Tyler started writing a stage play based on the trauma he'd lived through. He poured his pain onto paper. Every word was a scar. Every line was a memory. And after saving up every dollar he had, he put everything into producing it. And then, it failed. The play bombed. Only a handful of people showed up, and most of them were people he knew. No buzz, no press, no money, just shame and silence. Tyler lost everything: the rent, the job, the little hope he had left. He started living out of his car, a Geo Metro, sleeping in Walmart parking lots and writing at night with a flashlight. For 6 years, that car was his home. Cold winters, humid summers, hunger so loud it kept him up. But he never stopped writing. He rewrote that play dozens of times, changed the dialogue, changed the pacing, changed the heart of it. Because deep down, he knew something the world hadn't figured out yet. He wasn't done. In 1998, after years of being rejected, humiliated, and forgotten, something changed. That same play finally found an audience. People came. People clapped. They cried. They stood up. Tyler had found his voice, and more importantly, an audience that needed to hear it. From that moment on, it snowballed. More plays, more tickets, more sold-out theaters. But he didn't stop there. Tyler realized something powerful. He didn't need Hollywood's permission to tell his stories. So he created his own lane. He wrote, directed, produced, and funded everything himself. From stage plays to films, he built a brand around faith, family, struggle, and redemption. He created a character named Medea, a tough, wise, hilarious grandmother that audiences couldn't get enough of. The critics mocked him, but the people loved him. And Tyler never made art for critics. He made it for the broken, the forgotten, the fighters. In 2011, Forbes named him the highest paid man in entertainment, more than Spielberg, more than Jerry Bruckheimer. He had created a billion-dollar empire, not by following the rules, but by breaking them. He had never been to film school, never studied theater formally. He just knew people, and he knew pain, and somehow that was enough. But his biggest move came in 2019. Tyler Perry opened his own film studio, Tyler Perry Studios, in Atlanta, Georgia, a 330-acre facility with 12 sound stages and full-scale production capabilities. But what made it historic wasn't just the size, it was the land. That studio sits on what used to be a Confederate Army base. Let that sink in. A once homeless black man now owns land where people who fought to keep his ancestors enslaved once trained for war. That's not just success, that's legacy. Today, Tyler Perry employs thousands. He gives opportunities to people the system overlooked. He funds charities, he builds homes, he mentors young black creatives. But he never forgets where he came from. He never erases the nights he cried in that car, wondering if anyone would ever care about his words. So what do we learn from Tyler Perry? We learn that your circumstances don't define your destiny. That rock bottom is not a dead end. It's a launch pad. That rejection is not a full stop. It's a comma in your story. We learn that you don't have to wait for permission to be great. You just have to be brave enough to try and stubborn enough not to quit. Because the world will try to break you. It will ignore you, laugh at you. But if you hold on, even by a thread, The same world will one day applaud you. It's not about being lucky. It's about refusing to disappear. Tyler Perry didn't make it because he was chosen. He made it because he chose himself, every single day. So if you're listening to this, sitting in your own version of a broken-down car, staring at dreams no one believes in, don't give up. Your studio moment is coming. And when it does, don't forget where you started, because that's what makes the story worth telling.